What's good, YouTube? This week we're back with another episode. We'll be interviewing Lord and Bert Kaiser. If you haven't already, make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. Welcome to the Barber Game Podcast. I go by the name of DJ Meek Chops.
Hey people, this is Mess.
What it do? This is Marcus.
What's good, everybody? This your boy Merv Mill on the check-in, and this is the
Barber Game Podcast.
Here.
Yo. What's happening? What is happening?
What up, though?
Oh, man. Mess was good.
Living a dream.
The gang's back.
Yeah. We're back.
Shit,
I know, right? OG game. OG game. Man, you was in there, bro. So let's get right into it, man. This week's episode, we got real special guests. This dude's got a whole lot of things going on besides being a barber, owner, Twitch streamer, fashion designer. Man, steak enthusiast.
Multi-hyphenated.
You know what I'm saying?
Multi-hyphenated.
Yeah. Hella faceted, man.
Not just my last name.
Yeah, exactly. So, Aaron, a.k.a. Lord and Bert. I said that right?
Yeah. Lord Imbert Kaiser.
And Bert Kaiser.
Sir.
There you go.
Kaiser Scheiser.
Yes.
Whoa.
That's that German, right? Man, so, bro, like, walk us through this, bro. Because I used to call y'all the trifecta, man. You, Eddie. For the listeners that don't know, Eddie's my little brother. It was you, Eddie, and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Trifecta, man. Y'all was all like
Constable, not Cali.
Yeah. Not Callis. Yeah. Josh Constable.
Clear my boy's name right
Yeah. Your boy Gooch. You nicknamed him Gooch when he was down here.
Yeah.
The boy had
Gucci
the
on his face.
Gucci symbol on his face. Man, the trifecta was crazy, man. This was what was the year? Like 2009, 8?
No. Not that early. No.
Yeah.
No, it was later.
That was
Okay,
later.
Yeah,
It was I think 2012. I think it was either 2011, 2012.
Okay.
Because I've been barbering for 10 years this year officially.
Okay.
Licensed.
Okay.
You know, and then me personally, I hadn't picked up clippers before barber school, so I only had this 7 months for me technically of going to school.
Yeah.
And then working officially.
But that's not to diminish what you've done because you were 16, 17.
I was 16 when I signed up for barber school, but it was like
17 once you became licensed.
3-4 days before my 17th birthday.
See that? Yo.
When you graduated?
When
No,
Or when
before
you
his
went?
birthday.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah,
I see when you signed up 3 days
when
before.
I signed up,
So you're-
I
okay,
was 16.
almost 17.
Yeah, so
Got
I
you.
essentially was.
Got you.
Technically.
And you're licensed at 17.
I was licensed at 17.
That's
Yo,
crazy.
Make some noise for that. That's so fire right there. And so like it was 3 of y'all, man. And I watched it. Like I told you this. Like it was crazy to me. Y'all all went into Woodinville.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian, shout out to AP out in Bellevue. He calls it the well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
We had some phenomenal talents come out of there. Too many to name right now.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all plugged right in there. You being from the east side. And Josh too. Eddie coming from New York. Did you even like walk us through that? Like, how was that, man? How was that?
I mean, it was a very long journey. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of growth has happened. I mean, I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's just the best way to say it.
Yeah.
You know, just ill-mannered, no work etiquette at all, essentially, you know. Just wilding. Like, there's stuff that I think about that I was just like, yo, I was really doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I was just really doing that.
It's fire.
But, yeah, I mean, just a lot of growth. I mean, I had to, and the interesting thing, too, is the time of barbering, you know, 10 years ago, social media wasn't what it was.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So it wasn't able to, like, make a post of a haircut and this and that, and it would do what it would do in today's world.
Today.
You know,
It's different.
It's different. You know,
100%.
It was very who you knew already. So if you weren't already, it's kind of like, like you guys are already supporting me. You know me. You know, I
Yeah.
don't need to post a picture for you to support me.
Right.
Where now, you know, you can make a reel and this and that. You got, you know, so I had to really like get it.
Yeah.
In a sense, you know, there was legitimately days I was 16. Mind you, too, this is my first real job ever, just job, period. Low key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never filled out a resume.
so you
I don't
never
even
had-
have a resume.
Yeah.
I should now
Yeah.
because, like I said, multi-hyphenated. But, yeah, I've never filled out a job application, nothing. It's just,
Make some
Straight
noise
to
for that.
barber.
That's so fire, bro.
and so,
Self-employed,
yeah.
self-employed, self-made, all the way.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope.
And I feel like that has helped me with the other endeavors because I had to go get it. You know, there was legitimately days, like I kid you not, you can ask Brandon from Bellevue. You know, we used to call there was this bench outside of Woodinville. We'd call it the going through it bench, GTV, because when times were tough, we had to sit out there like waiting for people to walk by. Like, do you need a cut?
Yeah.
Because like it's Saturday, you know, booth rent is coming. You know, I have $80 to my name. It's 2:00. I gotta get this, you know,
Whatever.
Yeah, like whatever it was that day. You know, I had hours to do it, and I'm hoping that I got something after to, you know, get right, get some food.
Hey, you see that bench start going, be one barber, then it be two
You know,
barbers,
yeah, exactly.
3 barbers.
Like, shit,
Loitering
man.
outside the DOL.
Yes, exactly. They already hated us, so we didn't make it better. But I really, I had to, it was crucial.
Man,
'Cause
dog,
it was crucial.
so 17, you went to barber school, finished with your homies. One of your homies, new homie, right? And man, and then you plug it into the system. That's just amazing, bro. I'm still taking it back because I remember it, but it's like watching it, I was like, bro, these
It's a
dudes
long
is
time. I mean,
crazy.
10 years that's
Yeah.
a decade. It's
Yeah.
a metric of time. It's a whole decade. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
How do you feel being 10 years in at like 27, 28? You know what I'm saying?
I guess in what sense? Like,
Because like most people that would have 12, 15 years, 10 years of experience, you're thinking they're going to be 35, 38, 40.
yeah.
So you're looked at like a vet. You know, people
yeah.
probably come to you for questions that
yeah.
are older than you.
That's
you
a
know
good
what I'm saying?
question. I mean, it's like I said, it's interesting because the game is so different. You know, with social media and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, for me, I wasn't really big on that type of social media, posting my haircuts, stuff like that, because, like I said, it was a lot of people that I felt like I knew. And then when times changed, to be honest, I feel like I didn't hop on that train so much. But I feel like that's because I feel like with social media comes a lot of, and I've said this previously in the past, a lot of gimmicky stuff and ways where, you know, like I had a cut the other day where it was like his friend told him to get this cut, and he was just like, show him this. I saw the text, and he's like, just show him the text, and he'll know. And I knew, but it was just so funny. I'm like, this guy has just seen a TikTok. Like, this dude doesn't know what he's getting, and I'm explaining it to him like, hey, well, we're about to do this, we're about to do that, because it's like a complete 180 from what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know, and so then he was just like, oh, this is the cool thing, and I'm like, trying to explain to him, like, I don't know. We sitting there for like 10 minutes having the consultation.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like,
'Cause I'm about to slaughter you. So are you sure you want this right now?
Yeah, like, and it was a cool cut.
Okay, it
was
wasn't one of those like.
It was the wolf cut, and so I
yeah.
understand that cut. It's the whole longer, because I feel like too with haircuts, I don't know if you guys have noticed. I feel like one haircut goes into another, right? So back when I feel like men's grooming as a whole boomed, it was the birth of the comb over.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That was when everyone was going on social media, seeing the comb over cuts, this and that, boom,
with
boom.
with the skin tights. And all
Yep,
that,
exactly. That was the fades. Oh, because I feel like too that's also a very good cut to show a barber's skill, because you know it's like a drop skin fade comb over. It's styling. It's a drop fade, which is not necessarily an easy fade to do for like a beginner or someone like that. And so they're seeing that, and even back then, it wasn't even the drop fades. It was just like
Regular.
comb over,
yeah.
like 2 all the way up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Comb overs were different. Like there was
just-
no blending from short to long hair.
Yeah,
Like there
it
was
was
just
and
it
that's-
flopped over.
And that's why I
You know
say
what
that
I'm
was the
saying?
boom of it, because
Yeah.
no one knew, right? Like you see a couple pictures, boom, that's all I know.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I know is what I see, and so now it's way different. But what I was saying is, like, the comb over went to the man bun because everyone was growing their hair out, you know, and then what did it go to from there? I feel like either everyone cut their hair off, and that was when like the whole colors were kind of big.
It was that
Short
crop top.
hair.
That crop top.
Crop top, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that
yeah,
Euro
yeah.
style,
Right,
you
yeah,
know?
Yep, the crop top.
Yeah.
That's
And then
It really just stayed
The
with the
texture-
skin fades, high skin fades. It would just keep going higher, high tapers,
now it was the mullet,
and then the mullets and the grown out
and
mullet.
now it's the wolf cut from the mullet.
It's pretty much a grown out mullet.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so I'm
and that's
telling
just
the
a
dude,
super long.
yeah,
hair.
and then it's like it's
And-
texture.
It's long on the
and-
sides too.
Yeah, and it's like
It's basically like a
tapered.
high taper.
Yeah,
But with the-
like hella.
But you're not doing skin tapers. You'll probably do like
But that one.
No,
with-
that was the thing. He had like, bro, he had like inches on the side, and the text is like, tell him to keep the taper super low. And I'm like, my guy, I'm like, I feel you, but like, you have like 3 inches right here, and you want to keep the skin taper and all that. Like,
how.
how?
How
Yeah,
swear.
you know? Like, I feel you, but just understand. what
Hey,
we're doing.
lightweight trying to talk him out like you don't want this, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. But he
Okay.
was.
Hey, it's
up there.
crazy just to say because you've been like you said, like back when we came up, there was no posting.
The 2 all over to the taper.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
back with the
yeah.
ice.
That's
the
what I
ice
used to
picks.
do.
Or
That
the
was
or the comb over with the ice picks.
Yo, that
the
was
comb
that,
over with the-
honestly. I don't remember the last time I did pointed sideburns.
That's what we were
like
talking about. I don't.
Yeah.
Children,
gone.
that's
Well,
yeah,
it.
Kids.
Children.
that. Yeah, or like I feel like, I mean, even then, like aggressive cuts, like a mohawk. But even then, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Doing too much.
Yeah. If they ask me for points, I'm lightweight trying to talk them out of it.
Yeah, I'm just tapering.
I'm trying to like.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you even want sideburns, or
Yeah.
we take them off, or like?
They're gonna be skinny anyways. We can just taper them out. Like, honestly.
Yeah,
There's
nah,
barely
that's
any
crazy.
hair.
I just tell him like, it looks better when it grows out. At least
Yeah.
there won't be a line of demarcation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pointed. Yeah, it was an error.
That was,
That was the one though.
yeah,
like,
it was. It was.
That was the one.
the 2 all over with the
The
point.
ice picks. I knew when they said I want the ice picks. Oh yeah, they.
Bro, you know what the thing is about that, bro? Like I have a couple things. Like I have fond memories of like cutting your hair, bro, and doing
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
And I used to be
yeah.
like, dog,
Us
like.
too, yeah.
So Merv dipped out, and then like you was like, "Yo, I'm just legitimately about to go to my man in the back over there." And I was like, "Yo, the 2 all over with the taper."
Yes, sir.
Bro, you used to tip so crazy high to me. I was like, "Bro, this dude has some people that don't even."
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you used to
yeah.
be like, "Yo, that's all you." This is $20 haircuts back then. You're giving like 40. Like, yo, that's legitimately all you. And I'm like,
Was I $20 haircuts even period is a
crazy.
To
yeah.
think
Sounds
about,
crazy.
right?
Sounds
Think about where you're at
crazy.
now, like the $20 cuts,
The $20 cuts.
but you were giving pointed
No, no,
sideburns
no,
with
hold
twos on
on,
the
hold
sides.
on.
You know, what
Early
I'm saying?
bird, $10.
And the early bird,
That was.
Excuse me, 17. Before the 20,
Oh
there was
yeah,
17.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
17,
yeah, yeah,
it was
I
17.
remember that. Yo, I remember that, and it was like 12 for the lineup. Or
No,
something.
it was
like
7.
7. Yeah, so yeah, it was Sheesh.
$7 and $10. Yeah.
Back then, so look, even that back then, like, how did you know you wanted to cut? You're what, 16?
So for me, it was, I always say it's a series of unfortunate events that led to a series of fortunate events. I just kind of made a situation for myself, which granted I was young, I could have done a lot of stuff,
Anything,
but I was just like, fuck. I was out of school because I didn't, it was weird. I essentially dropped out, but I didn't do like the formal dropout where you sign papers and X, Y, and Z. I feel like people don't know that when you drop out, like officially, you actually sign papers and this and that. You're like,
I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm
yeah.
for sure done.
Yeah, like because if you don't show up, then you got court and this and that because you know
Yeah.
absent
Truancy
days
and
and this and
stuff
that.
like-
Yeah,
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 exactly. So I never had to do that. It was weird. I'm assuming somebody did it, but shoot, wow, I just lost my train of thought.
So you signing out?
How'd you want to cut?
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. It was, it was out of school, and so then I was just like, damn, what am I gonna do? And then the opportunity kind of presented itself. Like, I got cut by Josh. I was in discussion and stuff like that, and then I got cut by Josh, and he was just able to explain it to me in a way, like for a young person. You know, I feel like when you hear things from adults, sometimes when you're younger, it's like that's what you're supposed to tell me. You're supposed to tell me to do better, do
something with my
listening
life.
no more.
You know, like
There's no detail.
Yeah, it's just like do this, do that, and it's gonna be better. And it's like, well, yeah, like, of course, but you know, he was able to say it in a way that I was like, you know what, that makes sense. Clothes has always been one of my things, so for me, I knew it was an avenue to like promote my clothing, you know, meet people, make connections. I feel like that's just so crucial in business, period. You know, being successful is making connections, being able to network. And so I knew that was like a great way to do it, you know. And it's a personable way, you know, it's organic. You're not like, because I feel like it's hard sometimes to approach people with situations trying to grow because it becomes this who's offering what type of thing sometimes, you know, when you're trying to team up with people and do work. So I knew that, like, okay, because think about it, everyone loves their barber, or they, you know, that's the thing, you know, you should, or whatever, you have a good relationship with them. And so, and it's yielded me definitely good connections over the years, you know. So that was essentially why, after hearing the conversations and knowing I wanted to do clothes, I was just like, yeah, this makes sense to me. Yeah. And then, I mean, you know, once you actually start touching the actual money, you're like, oh, yeah, this is no question.
You're seeing it too, you're around it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And, you know, being that young too, at that time, I mean, any sort of money was good. So it was just like.
Did you have a pressure, like, after you kind of dropped out of school to, like, do something? Like, I got to get back into something right away? Or did you already know, like, I'm going to school, just?
No, I mean, kind of, because, I mean, it was like, what are you doing? Because, like I said, I had made a situation for myself. But I also knew, too, because I'm also someone that essentially is ambitious, that isn't trying to just...
sit around.
Yeah, exactly, you know. Being young, of course, I wanted to hang out and kick it, but I also knew I didn't want to be broke. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, you were inspiration to me in a way like that. Like, it's weird to say it because you were younger than me, but you were inspiration to me because I looked at your, like, blueprint and your path, and I was like, I wanted that for Josh. I want that for Eddie, and I wanted anybody who, see, because I didn't like school either. I dropped out at 17. And I was just like, I'm done. And I know I'm not the only one that was like that. To me, I was like, anybody who felt like that, whether if there was my family, friends, anybody, even a client, I felt like they should have taken like some type of stepping stone. I didn't know that barbering was going to be it. I knew that it could have been a vehicle to do anything else I wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. I think like barbering for me was just that avenue to like I said, push just everything. And like I said, I had to grind in the beginning. It made me learn a lot of stuff, how to talk with people. You know, you have to build those connections and relations. People don't, you know, especially being in a booth rent situation.
Yeah, paying to play.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oof.
You know, you know, I need you to come back. Yeah. So if you don't want to come back, I'm not getting any bread. Like, what are we?
Yeah.
You know, so I had to learn that, all that. It's barbering is, it's.
So is it long term for you?
Yes. I people always ask me because of how I have, you know, different avenues or whatever. If this takes off, if that takes off, I always tell people I feel like I would always renew my barber's license.
Of course.
Like I would never just not, you know.
Not cut.
I could be, you know, biggest streamer in the world, biggest fashion line, but at the end of the day, like barber is what made me, you know, what I am today.
That's so fire.
And so I can't, you know,
that's
like,
fire.
Because if I need to pop up and show you what time it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I'm gonna do that officially too.
Yeah, you can be in the back of the runway cutting hair right before
you
the
know
models walk out.
Like,
hold
on.
Yeah,
do the young thug. Like, hold on. Let me, you know.
Tighten you up real quick, man. This dude know what he's doing. But you transcended really, really quickly. So I remember this thing. Like, I hate to keep going back, but it's like you was wearing Vans, the dance, using the dance screw and all that, and then you. What seemed like you just like, so photography, high fashion, tattoos. I probably didn't say it in the right order, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like
I know
you
what you mean.
getting tattoos at like 17.
Well, I feel like too,
18.
like I feel like I'm a real like internet baby. Like I was so tapped in with the internet, like before I was barbering, and so I feel like a lot of that stuff that I was into or wanted to get into or whatever, be a part of, I wasn't able to do because I had no money. So then once I was in the barbering and that's what I'm saying. I seen it because I was able to get explained in that way. I was like, oh yeah. Yep. This is what I need to do because then, boom, I can do everything that I want to do and need to do for myself. In that sense.
Being the older cat too, is like, yo, I come back to y'all for the younger nigga game, bro. Y'all was the first one told me about Black Scale, and all that like fashion that Rocky was on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know how that transcended from him, and Travis Scott just bit his whole whatever. Right? You know what I'm saying? So like, it was just crazy, like seeing that, and then y'all rocking like Louis and Buscemi, bro. Buscemi, you put me on to that. I was like, what is this? He's like, yo, if you're not on these, bro, you just lacking weak. And I was like, dang, bro. Like I watched all that, and then it launched to like.
I would say also to top on that, the person that I am, I feel like I'm a very like, I want to be original, and so what attracted me to a lot of that stuff too is a lot of the times, these items or whatever, this hype stuff, it's usually trickled down to like. We're late by the time that we get it, the general public, right?
Right.
And so I've always been like interested in just the new exclusive, this and that. So I feel like that's why, I'm like, oh wait, I realized that jacket is the same one that's in H&M or Zara, like, a couple months, a year down the line. It's just now trickled down to that fashion sense or this and that. It's late on the trend, stuff like that. So that stuff has always interested me, just having that.
Do you think it's changed too now that you can buy everything on like these apps or just have everything sent to the house? Like there's no searching anymore.
Yeah,
there's no work having to be done.
That is very interesting because I feel like it promotes a lot of gimmicky clothes like Fashion Nova, Shein,
Pretty Little
Doll
Things.
Skills, Pretty Little Things, all that little stuff. Like a lot of that is rips from the higher up. Yeah, and it's actually terrible. Like. I think that stuff is terrible.
Do you think stylists are becoming an obsolete thing because of how accessible everything is?
No.
Okay.
I say that just because I have this saying that I like that's you can buy all the fashion in the world, you can't buy style.
Right.
So in that sense, yes, but I feel like it gives the facade that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I would say. You think you're a stylist. Exactly.
And it's perception
art.
and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's why it sucks, because when you talk about stuff like this, you seem like a freaking narcissist or like, you know what I mean, elitist. You're like, oh nah,
I feel the same way about shoes. It's like now it's like
everybody's shoe head.
You can have high schoolers, middle schoolers rocking the same thing you got.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
When I was coming up, I had to go wait in the line.
Yeah, no, that's true. In that sense, I do agree. The hype items are definitely more accessible because of that. And that's a weird thing is, right? I feel like we all wanted that.
Yeah. There's everything that came with it. Like, you had to put work in or you had to know somebody.
Now that it's easy, we're pissed because it's like, man,
I
I do remember standing in lines and doing this.
I mean, even now, the reseller price is crazy.
That is
Resellers
true,
are going crazy with pricing where it's like, even if I wanted to buy, I'm not paying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying.
Yeah, no.
But it's also like, I think the brand's responsibility, right? Because
they can't control it though. How do you control resellers?
Not resellers, the accessibility to it.
Yeah,
for
I was
instance,
gonna say my fault. That's the issue is the
like
accessibility.
A Birkin bag, you can't just buy it at the store. You have to have a connection, and it's like not a word of mouth, but it's like recommended.
Nike has too many shoes they drop and be trying to do that though.
I mean, didn't Jordan do that for a while?
Yeah.
Dunks.
I mean, I'm saying, but with the Jordans, that was limited access.
Yeah,
it was.
That's the retailer's responsibility. But if they want more money, I mean, they're gonna do what they want.
They're gonna
to
make
do.
it more accessible.
yeah.
So let's get back to the foundation. So we're in Woodinville, year in, maybe 2. We starting to kind of like dabble a little bit into the photography. I remember you had
Yeah, I got the camera because that was like, let me get a camera for the clothing line. I can shoot the photos myself. You know, and I, you know, I was fashion, so I took a lot of shoot pictures back then. It just, like, I suggest that to anyone. If you're ever doing anything, always try to do it yourself. You know, there's definitely a reason to get professionals, but in any sense, if you can do it yourself, you know, take the time, learn the skills to get yourself as a professional, you know, it'll pay off because time is money, and so you're either paying someone to do the time for you or you're taking the time so you don't have to spend the money. You know what I mean?
How hard was it to not like to not look at it from like just that scope and be like, yo, this is what got me here, and stay in it and be like, nah, I'm gonna go over here and do my clothing instead.
Oh, you're saying like,
because you're cutting hair and you're getting really good. You're getting booked out now. You got Brendan and AP there, so you got some people to really lean on. Y'all tapping in on your skills. How hard was it to not like be like, yo, I understand y'all barbers, but like I'm really like trying to do this over here.
No, honestly, it was never really. I mean, I would definitely say in the beginning. I mean, just like I said, it was a struggle. I had a lot to learn and grow. You know, I remember having conversations. Like I remember getting this call, and like yeah, I was like, I forget who it was. Like whatever the name popped up, but it was like it ended up being like 6-8 people. But I'm just like, it's like, and I'm just like, yo, hello? And then it was pretty much just like, what are you doing? what are you doing? Like, dead ass. Like, what is going on with you? Like, you're a nuisance in a sense. Like, it wasn't that. But like, I know, I'm able to say that because, but yeah, I was just like, damn. And I remember thinking like, is this even what I'm about to do? Like, fuck. Like, I'm looking crazy right now, And mind you, at that time, you're not thinking you're looking crazy because otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. I'm not trying to openly, like, look as crazy as I was.
Yeah.
I just didn't think.
You're like, I'm out here kicking it, man.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Yeah, it's all good. But, so, stuff like that. But as far as the other endeavors, no, because I always knew, like, you need that foundation, This is my foundation. I can always say that. That's why I say,
keep the money coming
always,
in.
Yeah,
always,
exactly.
for sure.
Boom. I feel like there's a time where, like as of now, right? That's why I feel like I'm streaming clothing because I'm focused on, or like I don't need to focus on this anymore in the sense of like I'm always learning. I'm always doing this. Like there's times where I'm legitimately like applying new stuff to barbering, even 10 years in the game now, because of how styles evolving, stuff like that.
Same.
But,
I relate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I relate.
But I don't need to focus on it as like, I am booked, I am this and that. So I can kind of dabble over here to branch off and it doesn't feel like I'm lacking, or anything like that, So I took the time to lock that in and then, now I'm doing the other stuff.
And then now you're basically like an OG at this point. It's like you can be messed.
It's crazy.
Right? That's okay. So Brandon and AP went on to go do Bellevue, and you're like the guy to go see. I know like several of my clients.
Yeah.
I'm cutting in South Center or in Everett at this point, and I always remember like yo, I go down to Aaron. You know what I mean? Like Aaron. Like,
there was a period where I remember like Woodinville Bothell High School, like. Legitimately, I feel like I legitimately was almost cutting every single person.
That's
like,
so
it was
fire.
crazy because I would be at parties, whatever. Because mind you, too, at the time I'm still young, so I'm out kicking it, whatever, and like I'm seeing all the clients and this and that. And, it was crazy. I'm like, damn.
You're
and
like
even my
22.
sister, she's younger, so she's really in that age group, and she's telling me like, people were coming up to her like, You're Aaron's sister?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like relax,
That's
like
fire.
it's not that serious. I
fire.
appreciate the love, but like, it's not that serious. But it was crucial. And that's an interesting thing too. Starting so young, I wouldn't say like lost a lot of clientele, but in the sense of you grow with these people, right? And I'm cutting people. I'm 16 or 17 at the time. They're 17 now. They're 28. So they're either been to college, graduated, so they were either gone for a minute. Now they're living in a different state, this and that. Like I've legitimate, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my clientele where I have people where I'm like, damn, like that's right. I didn't lose them. They just
moved
on
away.
with
Life
yeah.
happened, yeah.
Exactly. And so I would say that, that's why I say I'm not not focused, because you always want to get new people, lock it in. There's always new people that you can grab,
I got a kid that I cut for like 2-3 years, and then they left for like 7.
Mm-hmm.
And he just came back. I just cut him again. He just moved back, and now he's grown.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
looking at him like
too.
I know him, but I don't know him. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what did we talk about?
Yeah.
Like, when I was cutting you back then, like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He was like 10.
That.
Now you're like 19.
Especially when they come back like married with kids. It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
You were in high school last time.
Yeah, you were the kid last
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Now you got
or even
kids.
crazy, like they just get gangster all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
That's
what
the
the
way.
hell?
Just
Like,
Yes,
come in,
Aaron.
just don't talk.
what?
I was gonna
Yes,
say
Aaron.
that was me, because I popped up with the kid too. Shoot.
Yeah, that's fire though.
Yeah. Aaron was like 11 when he was coming in.
Yeah.
And then he turned into a young
menace.
adult. And I was like, I don't think that was the plan.
Yeah.
But-
Good boy.
I have another fond memory of like doing a house party. We was at your crib.
Mm-hmm.
Remember you were there. Remember that?
Yeah.
Hey, your crib?
Yeah. Was that your crib?
Oh,
Like my house on Finn Hill.
I
Yeah.
think I came with Brandon. Did I come with
Yeah,
Brandon?
Brandon popped
I
up.
came with
Yeah,
Brandon,
Yep. He was wearing the
The
fives.
flannel.
He was wearing those fives.
Because I had the picture I got from that night.
Yeah. He was wearing the fives. Remember he was
Okay.
wearing the metallic
He was
fives?
wearing the Dave. Yeah, I remember.
That was
'cause
with his go-tos, though.
It had the
was
fire red
go-tos
fives
back
on
then,
it.
Yeah.
And that was when I started flipping music at that time.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. But you remember that? Like, I just have these fond
Vaguely.
memories. So, like, I know we tapped in. Like, our stories just kind of, like, interact, like,
Yeah.
you know, our Marvel story.
Yeah. No, definitely. That house party was probably one of the filthiest house parties, because it felt like one of those like OG legit house parties. We were just, I think, were you DJing
I was
technically?
DJing. Yeah, I was DJing. Remember? I was playing instrumentals. People was rapping over them. It was crazy, bro. That was a
Like, yeah,
crazy
that was
situation.
crazy.
Yeah.
That
So
was crazy.
yeah, man.
LG.
LG.
Oh yeah, the Lord's Garments. That
Lord's
was the
Garments.
first clothing line.
Yep.
Yep, that was the first
I actually
one.
just found one of your shirts. I was
Yeah.
cleaning
Yeah.
out some shit.
I was gonna
Yeah.
pop out with it.
No, it's hella funny, because I to this day people are like, yo, I still got this. I'll be watching people's stories, and like randomly the beanie will pop up. I honestly don't have like any of that stuff anymore.
Man.
It's got lost in translation. I want a beanie, so if anyone's got a beanie, like, let me get that junk.
I'll pay top dollar.
Yeah,
resale.
I'll buy it back.
I'll
Like,
pay resale. I'm gonna pay
I'll
resale.
give you more. I'll give you your money's worth.
Yeah.
It's vintage now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was the first endeavor, and that was, I feel like, a realization of like, I'm not ready for this, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I didn't
It's
even
too
know that.
soon or
Well,
too
one, I just was too young. I like, in the sense of, because like I said too.
How old are you? Do you remember? The year? Around-
I mean,
19,
this was-
20, yeah, this is early.
I was gonna say, I mean, even then, I think I was still 17, 18, because this. So actually,
What?
this is a sample from that brand. That's
Yeah.
why it has the Lords on it, and this is 2013.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So that was when it got formulated, and then I was officially barbering in 2012. So that's why I say that, I just started touching money and was like, oh, I want to do the clothes now.
Yeah.
Didn't get an LLC, didn't do anything in the proper way to do the business. It just didn't work out how it should, and I feel like that's why. I was just so young, didn't have an infrastructure, an actual ideology of how the brand was gonna be, how it was gonna grow. It was just, let's just drop clothes. you
Yeah.
know? And sometimes you got to do. I mean, you got to do that, because you won't know how to do shit.
You
know?
learn.
You learn,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
The imperfections make the journey, and so that was that. It was a good run though. I mean, a lot of people bought it.
He was selling out too.
people-
I remember
yeah.
popping out like, "Yo, let me get a shirt." You'd be like, "Yo, I only have double XL."
Yeah,
This is
that's
This is when everybody's getting skinnier with the.
yeah.
I'm like, bro, I need a large, bro.
yeah. And it was cool too, because back then those pieces, I try to put like a lot of idea and thought and detail into them. Like I feel like you don't really see double-sided beanies. You know, like I
Right.
said, this was in 2013. It's not like I innovated that, but you know, think about how many beanies do you see that are double-sided?
Yeah.
You know,
Not many. Yeah.
yeah, you know
Not
what I
many.
mean.
You have the black on black raglan too.
With the exactly. That was the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
That one
Yeah.
was from. It was like, excuse me. It it was from what is that, murder case? It's a movie. All that. I mean, if you look up Black Dahlia,
Yeah.
it's self-explanatory. But
It's old Hollywood.
47.
Yeah, 47 was 1947 was the year, but also I'm AK, so AK-47.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, the
yeah,
black on black for the Black Dahlia. Like, that's the thing, you know, back then, I've always wanted to do cut and sewn items, which, you know, are like, put the pocket here, do this, do that, rather than just print on clothing. So I've always tried to do things when I couldn't do cut and sew to, like, there's this, there's that, you know. Like one of my newer shirts, it says it's this, everybody's nobody, but it's on a pocket tee, and it's the pocket's on your left side. So I actually sewed, or I embroidered the pocket shut with the embroidery, because it's supposed to implement like the pocket's closed. It's over your heart, you know, so I can't do these cut and sew things, but I can at least implement feeling into them, because that's what I feel like cut and sew is. You're trying to create this garment and feel emotion, express that feeling. So I try to do stuff like that where you're like, once you know, because you see it and it's a pocket tee, and you can't see it because technically it's not like it's flush shut. It's in the middle, so the top still looks open. But then once you feel it, you're like, huh? So I feel like if I don't explain it, sometimes people will be like, why did it?
What's the
Did I get a bad
Yeah.
shirt?
Yeah, exactly. But that also creates the conversation, right? So if they're looking at it and they, what is going on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's everybody's nobody. It's over your heart. It's closed off. Da da da. Plus, you can spin it however you want to. But that was like the premise of why I did it. Was like everybody's nobody. I'm just shut off.
That's dope,
you
man.
know, so
Or you can maybe start a lookbook.
yeah, I have some photos coming. I've been I try to take my time with things. I like I said, I've rushed a lot of stuff, and I try to take my time. I have some stuff cooking up for the new stuff for sure. The Latchkey kids.
And Latchkey's all yours.
Yes,
100%.
Yeah, Latchkey is all mine. All the designs, like every single part, like
It's already out. You can purchase it now.
Yes, the website's coming. I'm real just picky about how I do things. Like I said, I wanted to do like, you know, latchkeykids.com, but that domain is purchased. So I'm trying to figure out a clever way to not have to do like Latchkey Kids Shopify or Big Cartel. You know, I just want that. I want that official tissue.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out a clever name that involves like a key or doors, something. But yeah, it's available for purchase either through DM on me, Lord Kaiser. That's all my socials, and then at the shop that I work at, which is in Kirkland, Washington.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about moving from Woodinville to Kirkland and that change.
Woodinville to Kirkland was an interesting move. I mean, I think it felt, I guess, deserved, if that's the best way to say it, because of how it's a fresh shop, you know. It was cool for me too, because I put ownership into that one, and so then I was really a part of the building process, you know, painting the walls, ripping up the floors, and doing this and that, and that was just a cool experience in itself. You know, you appreciate stuff. You know, it's just like anything. You buy it yourself, you're gonna appreciate it more. Yeah. You build it from the ground up yourself, you appreciate it more. You know, so that was super cool because I had never done that.
You're not in the area that like you kind of grew up in either. Woodinville's kind of, I mean, it's up the street.
Well, yeah.
But you grew in Woodinville, you know.
I did grow up back and forth from like Woodinville and Seattle. Okay. So I've always been in Washington, but like all my schooling was in like the east side, Woodinville, and then I would go back and forth from my mom and dad's, which is like South Seattle. And so yeah, I Kirkland is like a middle ground because I know a lot of people from there. But damn near now, they're all cutting hair too.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like all the people that I feel like would come to me to get cut, I'm like, I help them become barbers, or, you know, try to like tell them like, yo, like, be a barber.
There's probably a lot of people that you probably gave that influence to. Just
yeah. I mean, I hope so. I mean, because I always tell people like barbering changed my life. Like I could never take that away. That's why I always say I'll always renew my barber's license, because it really did. You know, it just gave me so many skills and so many tools to use in life. You know.
We have another endeavor that you took and you started doing too. You was one of the OG hosts on here.
Yeah.
We was before we ever went on camera.
Yep.
Are
those still like available?
I do not know. We have to go into the archives. I do not know. Actually, maybe for purchase.
Yeah.
You might,
they're on the Patreon.
I think they might be on there. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking back. Yeah. I think they're on the podcast app.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If anything, they're probably on there.
Mm-hmm. I want to go back just a little bit before the move. Mm-hmm. I remember discussing with you. You already had ownership thoughts. We were talking about potentially open up a shop somewhere. I forget the city was red.
I had a lot. I mean, I've had a lot of ideas over the years. I feel like the ideology of how I want to do it has changed. So a lot of different stuff has changed. Like I remember, I wanted to do one in Seattle. Try to do like the boutique with the my clothing with the cutting hair, and all that. And then after a while, I was like, Redmond would be dope, just because I felt like it was like centralized. Kirkland wasn't there yet, and I felt like Redmond is kind of its own city in a sense of where, like, even though it's close to Woodinville, it's neighboring cities. People don't leave Redmond because everything is in Redmond. Like they have a whole town center, this and that, Microsoft, and Redmond's huge too, to where you could end up in a part of Redmond that isn't too close to Woodinville. So I was trying to think of that, but then, the one that I've been thinking of recently per se would be like by like a college, like Pullman or something like that, just because I think that you get so many clients from there. But
clients.
Well, it's needed. Not just that, it's also needed.
It's more demand.
That'd be different too, because your turnover, like 4 years are gone, and you gotta start over again.
But it's always a surplus of new people coming.
Right.
And once you're that guy, because that's what they say. Like everyone's always like, if just a shop opened up that had filthy barbers, like they would kill it. But I'm not trying right now. I'm not trying to move out there. I got way other shit. It's just my mind's always trying to work with that. But it's things have just changed. I feel like, but I'm always thinking about ownership more.
Yeah, now especially, right? So like, exactly. How is it now? Like being on that, like, how do you feel about the responsibility level? Being the owner, knowing that you're looked at as a leader and like somebody like this is who I want to be like.
I feel like in my situation, it's a little different because I feel like for the most part we try to like Adrian says, it's a well-oiled machine, So I don't feel like I have to do much of this thing of like an authority figure. But I definitely don't mind it if I necessarily have to or whatever, you know what I mean? It is cool. Sometimes it's like, damn, that's right, like this is on me, like
someone walks in like, who's the owner? Like, this guy, like, you can't point him off no more.
Exactly. Like, all right, what's up? What do you but no, it's good. It's fun. It's a part of that experience too. I feel for me, it's something that I should have been done, and then I realized that too later on in life. And granted, I had him and stuff, and so there's obstacles and whatnot, but I definitely could have and should have done it earlier. So I would say that. I feel like for me, like I said, I wasn't focused on barbering. I was trying to make clothes the year and a half into. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, so in that, to answer that as well, further that, like, I guess I was derailed a little bit because I didn't lock in as much as I should on that craft. I could have been an owner. I could have been, way bigger owner now, but it is what it is. You live and you learn.
Well, you were an owner in Lords in Berkaiser.
Yeah. Exactly. But I know, I never didn't see the importance of it, but more than ever I do now.
Tell us about your Twitch, man. Tell us about your
Twitch,
streaming.
the Twitch.
What inspired that? Like you were into gaming at one point. I remember.
I'm a big gamer.
And then it switched from gaming. Like I remember playing like Call of Duty, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But then it switched from that like console to where you're at now.
Well,
Walk us through that.
The PC, I built my PC from scratch because I feel like when you're doing streaming, at least like I said, I've I hate to say it, but I feel like I am an elitist to some extent. I always like the nice stuff, blah blah blah. You know, let's just keep it real.
He's even an elitist with his water.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's low key.
Fiji only?
Nah, Fiji. I love Fiji. Fiji got a weird aftertaste.
Wait, so what is it?
Mine's
The
either
Voss?
Essentia. I low key like the body armor. I don't like the expensive ones. To me that's whatever. I'm all, what's the pH looking like? What's the alkaline looking like?
Yeah.
We're trying to get in line, brother.
Okay, got you.
You know it makes no difference, right?
I mean, hey, placebo.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take the placebo. I don't do much for my health, so let me get it in where I do.
I got you.
So when streaming became a thing, the whole Ninja era, I feel like we all know who Ninja is, right? The guy with the blue hair, played Fortnite.
Yep.
I know you've seen him mess. There's no way. You might not know him, I feel it, but I know if you'd seen him, you'd know.
Is this a cartoon?
No, it's a real person. He was who made essentially streaming big, like to the general public. Like
Wasn't that through Drake? Didn't Drake have a piece of that?
Yes, he did. So he became what it was Fortnite technically. That's the game that blew the gaming industry up. Period.
Right.
Because it was
The
free to play.
V-Bucks.
They legitimately
remember.
changed the way that gaming is now.
Completely.
They were the first ones to come out with the battle pass, and now
skins
2K
and all
does
that.
it.
Yeah.
Like a game that. Like what? A battle pass for 2K?
Yeah.
We're
When,
not
like,
even
what-
the same
getting
genre
some new
of
shoes,
game.
yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
So that's.
But it makes money every season. They
Yep.
got seasons now.
because they realize why make them pay up front for the 60 and give them free stuff when we can just give them the game for free and then
make 'em
they'll
pay
just
for everything.
pay for everything else
Yep.
because it's smaller purchases.
Just like these phones. So it's like they took what this platform does, where you get every app for free, and then in-app purchases for everything else.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
So you feel like, oh, I got it for free. I could put a little bit here, there. But so once that came about and the whole streaming thing was coming up, like I said, I'm a big gamer, like big gamer. I mean, you see my son's playing games right now,
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like, man, that's super cool. And like to be able to do something that I feel like people frown upon, it's a waste of time. It's whatever. It's mindless. You could be doing other things, which I'm not arguing those points, but my argument is always, well, there's always something else that someone else is doing, right? Yeah. People don't want to, condemn people for binge watching an entire season, 10 episodes, each episode's an hour.
Yeah.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm sitting on playing video games for 10 hours, everyone's like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
You should be
Touch
watching
grass.
TV.
You can be
Touch
doing
grass,
something,
kid.
yeah, yeah.
But it's like, what's
Yeah.
the difference? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So to see that come into light where it's like, hey, actually, this can make money and this and that, that was cool. And so that was kind of the start. And then me, like I said, wanting the best of the best, I knew I had to build a PC to do it. But PCs are expensive. Like they're not cheap.
Especially right now.
Especially, yeah. It's a little bit better for graphics cards because the 4090 just came out. But, and crypto's down. So the mining isn't as crucial. But like CPUs. Actually, right now is low key. I've been building a lot of PCs for people, like just like, hey, this is a part list. You should check this out. It's actually not too bad time right now. But like legitimately, maybe a couple months ago, it was pretty bad. But so with building it, I knew it was time. And when that came out was when 2017 was when Fortnite kind of came out. I want to say it was either
19?
More or less.
Nah, it
No,
was
17.
No, it was 17.
It was early.
Yeah. And he was born in 2017. So for me, I couldn't, I've just had him. I was trying to do clothing too at the time. So to build a PC, it was just like, whoa, no.
It was that and POG or whatever.
PUBG.
Oh, PUBG.
PUBG,
Yeah. That was the other, the Battle Royale.
Yep.
And so then just fast forward as far as that, because from that point to now, there was no push for that, in the sense of I wasn't like buying PC components to slowly build it or anything like that. I just was kind of like, well, I'll do it when I can. I had streamed from my PlayStation here and there, but it's not the same. Once you really indulge in the Twitch culture and the Twitch scene, you understand that it's not just, back in the Ninja days, I feel like people really thought if I stream, I'm kind of good at a game, I can make it. But there's so much that goes into it. It's that's why I say I'm glad I did the barbering, because I related to that. Essentially I'm on the going through it bench right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm sitting outside like, yo, come watch my stream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you have to get a pretty nice setup to be able to stream in good quality and all that. It's a production. That's the best way to describe it. Is it's your own TV show. You have to put a production into it. Otherwise, it's just very lackluster.
It's entertainment, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're legitimately an entertainer, and that's the thing too with streaming. I feel like a lot of people label it as just games, which majority of the scene is. But if you go on Twitch right now, always
DJ.
promoted. There's people that aren't playing games.
Yeah.
Top one is what, just chatting every time.
Yeah,
Almost.
yep. Because,
not even playing games.
Because you can legitimately, just sit. Like, I see people just sit there in front of their, like Kai Sinat.
Mm-hmm.
He is the biggest streamer right now as far as subs. And yeah, it's crazy. Like all he does essentially is just sit in front of the computer.
Amp, the whole amp, all of them. Duke,
exactly.
All of them.
Yep. And it's crazy because now they're doing, 21 Savage came through, and they were just chilling, watching videos on his computer. Yeah. And it's just like it just organically happened. I remember. I think I randomly tapped into his stream because I was like, you know what, I need to check this kid out. Like, I'm seeing him everywhere, this and that. Let me see what it's about. I remember tapping in the stream. I think he was legitimately on the phone with 21. He was like, yo. He was like, yeah, we'll do a video. And then shortly after, it was like you saw it come to fruition. He was sitting there next to him like, yo.
And they all came, I think, from 2K.
Mm-hmm.
They all came, so like they ascended from that. Now they don't even play games.
Yeah, a lot of streamers at a certain point will stop playing games.
That's crazy.
Or if they do, it's like they're doing like the most random shit. Let's play Gang Beast, like indie game.
Something no one's played.
Just to fucking do it. And then
and it might be a promotion. They might be playing it for promotion, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's fire.
So I built it. I hollered at people and was like, because I knew nothing.
But you're in tech capital of the world, Microsoft. Most of the clientele is Microsoft, so it's like just to give people backstory on what's going on. He's in Woodinville, and then now it's like Kirkland. That's where a lot of people from everybody knows Kirkland, Washington is tech.
Yep.
Tech.
Right there next to Seattle, pretty much.
Yep.
And so I was just like, man, how do I do this? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what pushed me. I don't. I feel like it was like a realization one day of just like, let's just do this. What are we waiting
Probably
for?
that stream, like, I'm going to take this seriously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. But and that's what it was to get the PC, but in the sense of what made me be like, let's start streaming. I don't know. I just kind of woke up and was like, I need to do this.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I started looking into the computers, and then I think my first purchase was my monitor.
Oh, yeah.
It was my gaming monitor, and it was a big purchase. It was an $800 monitor, and so I was like, fuck. Which granted was like, I could have just played my PlayStation on that. But I was like, nah, not like,
What about the
Let's push the monitor to the limits.
Like,
let's see what it can do.
Okay, that's the first one, and
them
then the
frames,
next one,
them frames per second.
The frames were crucial.
FPS.
And then the next was the keyboard. I bought I mean, it's not even like a nice keyboard. It's like this collector's, this and that. But I wanted to make it a point of like extra to be like, all right, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I spent $300 on this. Like, boom, I'm what, $1,200 in, monitor and a keyboard.
Yep.
And I'm like, I cannot just not
I gotta
do
make
it
my
now.
money
Yeah,
back
like,
now.
you feel me?
Yeah.
I'm in now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm investing.
Yeah.
And then the computer came, and when I have a buddy, and I'll say that too. I think maybe that's what it was.
I was gonna ask.
I have a buddy.
Wait, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
I was gonna say shout out to Porridge. Follow him too. Porge. on all that. I like to plug the homies. I always like to shout out.
Hell yeah.
But he's actually like, I would say in like the top 10% of streaming, and a fact that a lot of people don't know, to be in the top 1% of Twitch, the entire platform, you only have to average 50 viewers. So I feel like people see people with 20K viewers, 30K viewers, 10K, just even a K, and they think that these are like the top of the line.
That's the level.
And
that's
that's
the level.
it seems
it's really
unattainable.
not.
So
Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Because imagine that if you put 50 people in here, it doesn't seem like a big number, but 50 people in this room, like we'd be packed out.
Yeah.
And if they were all watching us to do this, you'd be like, damn.
That's kinda fire.
Almost feel uncomfortable if they were here with us.
Exactly, exactly.
But it'd be like, damn, they're really here watching us.
Yeah.
I feel like it was him. I feel like because I was watching him, I finally was like starting to tap in because I was like, okay, I'm doing this, and yeah, it's super cool, man. Like it's really about building community too. I feel like that's what gravitated me towards it. You realize that, I was telling you guys earlier how I have someone that lives in India who taps into my stream all the time. He's a younger kid, whatever, but he's there. I had this like 8-hour stream. He was there for like at least 5-6 of the hours, just tapped in, interacting. He actually was like, hey, I got to go do this test for school. I'll be right back. Did the test, came back, was like, yeah, I passed with the 97. Like, we're communicating, we're, all that. We got the Discord going, trying to, it's community. So that really too has helped me because it just.
You got to send him the latchkey hat.
Yeah, no, for real, for real. I do. I'm about to start plugging in a lot of that with that stuff.
Because that's even like a good giveaway. You could just give away your clothing where you're
definitely
incentivizing, you know what I'm saying? Not really losing too much, really. Getting your shit out there.
Exactly. Because it's a gain either way, you know. Building that connection is more ideal than, the metrics of views or this and that. Because I feel like if you have more solid core supporters rather than people that just are there for the hype, because you could have 20,000 viewers, but if they're all there just because of hype rather than support, is it really that filthy?
How long is that going to last?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Where if you have, 10K viewers and 5,000 are supporting, at all times, subbing, donating, throwing bits and stuff like that.
That's fire. Patreon, all that.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, the computer, just to bring it back, the computer, man, that was a journey. I like I said, I built it myself, and I had PC issues for probably a solid 2 months where I could not stream, and I would stream and then it would just cut out. It would just stop. It would just be done. It would just be toasted, and I couldn't play. I'd load it back up. People would join back, but it's like it's embarrassing to like. I'm live.
Yeah.
Like straight up, like,
trying to
technical
troubleshoot.
difficulties. Sorry, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing technical difficulties.
And I don't even know who to call right now. Like,
exactly. Like, because I learned a lot about PCs, but it was crazy. The issues that I had were so rare. Like, I took it to stores. I cannot explain how much I did to try to figure it out. And the craziest part is that my computer works just fine, and I still don't know to this day how it fixed. Because it just, I could go into this whole thing about it, but it just doesn't make sense. Essentially, I took components out that helped the computer, and now it's working better. But why I took those components out was because I ran a test that said these components were bad. And when you test them all together. It's the RAM. And when I tested them all together, it came back with an error. But then, so once you do that, it tests all of them. Then you have to test them individually to see which ones are broken.
Yeah.
None of them had an issue when I did it individually.
Yeah. But only when you ran them together.
Yeah. So, So I don't know.
Complex,
so I just was like, yeah, we're done. It works. We're good.
Yeah.
Because I have more than enough RAM. I just, like I said, why not? I like nice
Max
stuff.
it out.
So, yeah,
Max it out.
exactly.
Yeah, facts.
Exactly. So.
With all of that you got going on, how do you balance work life, family?
I don't know how I do that.
Do you balance?
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I feel like it's just been trying to figure it out over the years. Just a lot has changed. Even now, I just changed schedules with him. He was with me full time going to school for a majority of it. So I'd get off early. That was kind of my compensation of like, I still wanted to work, make good money and all that, but I still want to be able to get off, pick up my son from school. You know, that kept me sane as far as, you know, I'm still making money. I'm still able to go see him, stuff like that. You know, spend time with him. And I would say too, surrounding myself with stuff I wanted to do. You know, that's the most important part of it. You know, I'm getting off early. Like I go to work. You know, I like cutting hair. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to be with him and hang out and chill, whatever. And then after that, I'm streaming, which I love playing games. I love doing that. And then two, plus with the streaming comes, like I said, with that community. And so I have people that, like, I've legitimately have one homie that's in there. His name is Dion. I've known him for years. You know, we've never been on like a homie basis per se, where I'm like calling him, yo, what's good, da da da. Or we've never like hit each other to hang out, but he's tapped in all the time, you know, and it's super dope. You know, with the community stuff, you know, it's like he's my friend now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm also just going there to hang out with friends. So it's every part of my day I'm doing something that I want to do, not need to do. You know what I mean? So I feel like that balance has what kept me sane. Granted, it's a lot, but
you manage.
Yeah, because I enjoyed every aspect of the day when I'm trying to do it. You know.
And I've been seeing you on your cooking tip too. You be on the steak tip.
I got some cooking streams coming up. I'm trying to figure out the setup. It's hard because obviously I have a legitimate whole setup for the stream. Yeah. So I have to move my computer into the kitchen and all this and that. I could do it from my phone technically. A lot of IRL streamers just use their phone. Yeah. But I just
not for the
I need,
hey, that,
I need that. Yeah.
That elitist right there.
Exactly. I need that 4K capture quality with the. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna have the whole joint over
the. No. No. Text come green. Text green. Yeah. No, I can't do that. But yeah, the cooking streams go crazy. The steaks, man, it's funny. I don't know what it was. Oh, no, what it was I had someone, his name is Dom. He came to my crib and he chefed this steak. And I low-key, like, this shit was amazing. It was good. But I felt disrespected that this dude came in my house and chefed up this amazing steak. What's your shit? Yeah, and I'm like, I can't even do that shit. Like, hold up. Like, I'm supposed to be, you know, like, you're my guest. Like, hold up. Like, so I just went on this, like, just rabbit hole of how to make the perfect steak. And I kid you not.
What's the perfect way?
Yeah, it's fire. It was fire. The Wagyu. Hey, that U.S. Wagyu, fire, bro. Yeah. I mean,
we'll get the filet next time.
I'm a filet guy myself, but that Wagyu.
We'll get the filet.
You putting the sear on it and everything?
Oh, yeah, the crust. So I'll give you the quick rundown of how I kind of prep it. It's all in the prep. Like, if you, I'm telling you, the most important part is the prep. It's not about the cook per se, like it is, but more goes into prep that makes the cook easier, you know? It's all about, so first tip, just have your steak come up to room temp. Don't go from fridge to skillet.
Yeah. Oh, that cold inside.
Yeah, you are.
That cold center.
It shocks the outside. The meat.
And it's the outside. Since it's cold, it's still holding moisture. Yep. And so you're not able to get a crust because there's moisture. The reason why it builds a crust is there's no moisture. It's drawing the heat and it crisps it. So that room temp is major. And then what I usually do if I'm planning it out is I'll do a 24-hour dry salt brine. So I'll put like an excessive amount of salt on it. Like it looks like Snow White. Not like Snow White, but so it's not like you can still see the meat, but it's covered in salt. And then you just let it sit, put it on like a little meat rack, let it get the airflow.
Very coarse, right?
Yeah, I mean either you can do fine too. Coarse, it just depends. It depends. Okay. I wouldn't say as long as it's penetrating. Yep. You know, it has that 24 hours to penetrate, so you're good.
So that draws all that moisture out.
It draws the moisture out, which helps with that.
Do you pat it dry after that?
Yep. So
pat it dry.
So it draws the moisture, tenderizes it too with the salt since it's penetrating it. And then it seasons it too. So then after that, you take it out, let it come up to room temp. You throw it on the skillet, 2 minutes or 2.5 each side, and then
High heat.
Yeah, high heat on the high heat.
Yep.
Bring it down.
Put some butter in
butter. Yeah, you seen the Instagram
Yes,
shit.
sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Some garlic. Some garlic. Some,
hit it with the little
rosemary. Basting.
Basting,
Basting, yeah. Yes, sir.
And then let it rest for 15 minutes. Minimum 10.
Yeah.
But when you cut your steak, and that's why you keep it on medium, so you can baste it kind of however long you want that temperature to come up. If it's thicker, then you have to throw it in the oven. If you want it more done, but that should be good. And then let it rest because it should not bleed.
Yeah.
You'll see all the little juices that do come out will come out while it's resting, but then when you slice it, it should not no liquid should come out. Because they're all locked in. So.
Fire.
Yeah. Yo, that's medium
Free game.
rare. That's medium rare.
Free game.
You better know.
2 minutes.
Rare. Yeah. Medium rare.
If it's not medium rare, you shouldn't be eating steak.
Yes,
bro, you petrified it, bro. It's over.
Medium is okay. Like that, I draw the line there.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not going over medium.
No.
I can't do it.
No.
And if it's
Minimum
wagyu,
grade.
you
I've been seeing that
ruined the
blue.
meat.
Did you hear the blue steak? Man, blue steak is disgusting.
Blue is doing
oh my
a lot.
God, bro.
I've had some blue steaks in
It's
my
still talking to you,
endeavors of
blue.
steaks.
Yeah.
When I was figuring it out, I've had some blue ones for sure.
You cooked that
But we-
Kobe?
Yeah,
That Kobe beef?
I was like, we spent this money on this steak. We're gonna eat it.
Yeah. Right.
The weddings, the weddings they'll have that
Yeah.
cut of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Certain cultures will eat it at weddings.
I'm trying to
Raw.
do too with kind of to piggyback
It's really
on
good
the,
if it's done right.
on the steaks is I want to do like I want to host events and like these like created menus and like experiences with those like type of dishes like that, like just find steak, figure out like a fire side dish and like a tasting menu. But then have like art on the walls for purchase, DJ lights, like ambient, this and that.
Fire.
Have themes, do like more black tie, do like I would keep it more of like a not professional but more just how would you say it?
Casual. Maybe?
No, because I don't want it to be too casual.
Oh, yeah,
That's,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
okay.
I don't want it to be too, like,
Not
professional.
soon. Not yeah. I
Yeah,
got you.
but like, like where you're respectable, you're just like, okay, I'm not gonna
Dress
do like,
code. Dress code.
yeah, like I'm not
required.
gonna do a '90s theme. I feel like that would be like you're playing it down too much. Like,
Yeah.
do
Well, it
these
depends on the
themes.
menu, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we got exquisite food on there.
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
Chef Lord.
I gotta
and
figure it
Bert.
out though. I've been trying to figure that out for a minute. It's there's a lot that goes into it, because it's like I gotta do like a practice run of like doing that. You know, like all right, everyone come through. I'm gonna make y'all some shit. Let me see if I can.
I'm
even-
actually been doing that. Like I've been doing the same thing. Like I've been trying to like get a little menu together, and I'll just invite people over and be like, all right, come try this out real quick.
That's
I'm doing that
what-
today actually after I
Yeah.
get off. Yeah. So that's crazy.
Food is.
It's a little. Yeah, it's a vibe now.
When it is. When you get in that zone and you're in the kitchen, you're like, damn, I chef that shit. Like,
Yeah.
Quit playing with me.
For real.
That's fine.
It's the
You
truth.
be hype. Everybody try this. Get you a piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
So what are you working on now, man? With the
Now,
clothing
the
wise,
pants,
is
man,
that-
the pants, man.
yes,
That's
the
what I'm saying,
pants. You feel me? Got the tire marks. I don't know if it's probably hard to see on the camera, but it's Latchkey Kids clothing, or
Yeah.
Latchkey Kids.
Yeah.
That's the brand.
Latchkey Kids. Yeah.
The Instagram is Latchkey Kids Clothing. But so just to give the brand the rundown, I switched it. It was originally a design. I have this whole like note section in my phone that's like you can just scroll for like days, and it was one of them. And for some reason, it's actually crazy how I heard this phrase, because it's an old phrase, I guess, or like an old term. Was on like Jerry Springer or like Maury or something. And-
Maury?
Maury, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Come on, man. You know what you meant. You know what you meant.
yeah.
Coming for you.
Yeah. I saw it on there, and someone was just like, "Oh, I was a latchkey kid," and I heard it, and I was like, "Why does that sound so filthy?" So I looked it up, and when I seen it, I was like, "Whoa, that's me," And I know I'm not the only person in the world with my upbringing. So what a latchkey kid is someone who was kind of home by themselves a lot, The latchkey is essentially they had a key around their neck at all times to be able to let themselves into the house because parents were working, trying to provide for them and this and that. So you had to raise yourself, you know. That was me, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
And so I kind of really started because with the Lord's Garments, I was like, I want a new start. I didn't know I wanted to come up with a different brand name and this and that, So I was like, I don't know. And so then once I started thinking more, I was like, man, this is a really good like brand motif, Like it's relatable for a lot of people. So just even like the logo itself will speak because the name itself has meaning.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I can throw the logo on a whatever and it still hits. It's not just a logo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has meaning within itself. And so that is super major. Once I realized that, like, oh man, a lot of people relate, this and that. And it doesn't have this super strong, like, presence of, like, Lord's Garments, it almost...
It's a bold, that's a bold statement. It's like...
it's luxury or, exquisite.
But even also,
saying
so like...
Garments is...
That too.
A lot.
Yep.
The word itself
Yep.
is more than... it's a heavy term.
Yeah,
it's heavy.
So,
and a little religious too. Like some people might
perceive
it that way. So it's like
I got asked that a lot too.
So
are you? Sorry.
That's another episode.
That's funny. but yeah, I looked at the name and I was like, I can do any sort of clothing with this. It doesn't have to be, the name isn't attached to the clothes per se as the style of clothing.
Yeah.
So I thought it just fit. And so yeah, now I got a collection coming out. I don't want to say soon because everyone's on the look.
It's coming out when it's coming out.
Yeah. But it's tough because I'm doing things how I want to do it. Like I said, it's all me. So like these pants, it takes about like an hour for each pair to make. And mind you, I'm not even done with these. Like I'm just testing them out, prototyping to see how the print holds up and stuff like that. So I have to probably spend another hour or two on each pair distressing them because I wanted to add a little bit of distressing and character. Each pair is one of one. So what these pants are is they're tire marks, and they're used with puff print. And so they're actually textured. And the way that the puff print works, it almost feels kind of rubbery. So it legitimately feels like tires on your pants.
Yeah.
And they feel exactly how they should on the inside. There's no stiffness. When I do this, I'm not like, damn, this is kind of feeling weird.
Yeah.
They feel
Can
really
you wash
good.
it easily?
They would definitely be delicate.
Okay.
Some of the parts would, like, as you see, this is already kind of coming off. But that's kind of what I liked about this design is, as you notice, the tire marks.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if some of them fall off, whatever.
It adds a little character to it.
Yeah, it makes your pair even more unique to you.
And it's not supposed to be worn every day.
Exactly, exactly. So, you wear them one time. Yeah,
exactly. Hope not.
Yeah. Hey, freeze your jeans. I'll say that.
Yeah, freeze them, freeze
them. Fun fact, if you put your jeans in the freezer, it keeps them clean.
Yeah.
So,
which is crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. Well,
not killing COVID.
Not the jeans you wear while you're cutting.
It's not killing COVID though. Like,
nah.
Sub-zero temperatures don't kill.
We throw those in the sauna. I'm just trying to take my time and do it. Like I said, I still got to get the website. A lot of the garments are done. What I'm trying to do is, create a real deal rollout. Create content, create this and that, have a lookbook, have this and that. I already have my photographer lined up. Shout out to Ralph. You guys probably have already seen his work. He's everywhere. Ralph Romeo.
Yeah.
That boy's killing it. So I'm working with him, and he has a buddy. His name is Maven. That's so Maven. Shout out to him too. He's going to be the model and stuff. And so I have stuff lined up, but I'm just trying to ease it in there because I want to do it right. And so once I get these clothes done, the pants and stuff like that, I'm getting his pair done soon, Maven's pair, to try to get him at least some photos done for him since he's modeling. I don't need to have everything done right then and there. I can at least get the photos, promo it, hype it. and then yeah, it should be dope because hopefully this collection is going to be. That's why I say it's my baby. It's so precious to me. I've never done pants.
Yeah.
And I feel like, mind you, a lot of people don't even do pants. Like, I'm trying to come correct with, like, you know, everyone knows somebody with a clothing brand. Yeah. That's why I say it's not just a logo, right? Like, anyone can slap a logo, and then it's like, oh, cool, yeah, we'll buy the logo. You know, like, I'm trying to do real clothing, garments, you know. And like I said, I can only do so much with the cut and sewn, you know. These jeans aren't cut and sewn. They are wholesale blanks, but they're good quality. They're not, as you see, they're not like stretching crazy or anything. They hold up really nice. Yeah, I'm just trying to do what I can. And so the next collection, hopefully, once this all rolls out, all sells out, all this and that, then we'll start doing some really cool, crazy clothing stuff with like real deal cut and sew stuff. I know a couple people in the clothing industry, so you know, I've been waiting to tap in with them until I can come correct. I like to, a lot of my stuff that I do, if I don't want to come to you with an idea, I want to come with you with a plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, having ideas, whatever. Like, cool, sounds great.
Yeah.
Let me
we
know.
Gonna see. We're just
yeah,
drinking. We gonna see.
Yeah. So like this is the plan. So are we doing it or not? You know? So that's kind of where the clothing is, but we got some cool stuff lined up. I got this collection has a mechanic's jacket, has a cool little latchkey logo in the olive, has a quilted inside, super nice quality to kind of go with the pants with the tire marks, mechanic's jacket, you know.
Oh yeah, it's dope.
It'll have a t-shirt. Yeah. This is actually in the collection as well. It's a rugby polo, so it's a long sleeve. It just has the white collar. Yeah. It's a nice little pop. Yeah. And then I have a green and cream striped one, same as this. White collar with that one's super dope. I'm trying to do more color. I'm very
black. Yeah, usually black. Yeah, I'm noticing like a theme.
Yeah. I'm very, very. I try to add color when I can. I'm trying to do this purple shirt, which is gonna be pretty cool. But if you have a clothing line, don't order from Shockaware. The quality is cool, but I don't know what the hell's going on with them.
Oh, okay.
I will not support them.
Good. Any last words?
For me, like, follow everyone that I talked about. I'd rather like follow me too, but I like to try to put everyone on. You know, I mentioned a lot of people's names.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, George, Ralph, Maven. Follow them. They're all doing shit. Follow me, Lord Ember Kaiser, Twitch, Instagram, anything and everything.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you guys for the opportunity.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Always,
of course, man. Please come back, man.
Yeah.
Come back, update us on all the new projects.
Right.
Yeah.
Or host.
Maybe co-host. Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the only reason why I left before was because I had him and I was taking the day off to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it was all crazy, and I was like, man, yo, I'm trying to spend time with my son.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of work that goes into this. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then we were driving to, what was it, 5 for Federal Way?
Yeah.
That was when I was like, all right, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all.
It's a commitment.
They're going to be fucked up. Like,
It was a commitment.
Doing it for 2 hours. Oh, shit. We ain't even recording or audio.
Oh my God.
We're gonna have to run it back.
That was the early days.
Those are other things,
Yeah.
Ooh, but that's the thing. It's growth. You know, that's
Yeah.
why it's cool too to just even see this. You know, seeing it from the ground up, being a part of it, and then seeing where it is now, and being able to come back, and it's still a thing. You know.
Yeah.
I remember it was hella funny. I remember years ago. This was before the podcast and stuff. It's crazy because podcasts were like popular at one point, you know, and then they like died down, and then now they're like
blown the hell up.
Yeah, like
a lot of celebrities are reaching into podcasting. You know,
well, because I think podcasting is pretty much streaming, but just recorded.
Yeah. Right.
Like boom, we'll do the stream and then boom, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's it's the same thing you're talking. At least like people do streams like this.
It's almost like the next level of like Instagram, you know. Like you can go look at Joe Rogan, get a whole about him more than you would off Instagram, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost
new
taken off to
social.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and it's ways, you know, like I was saying with the streaming, it's community. You feel connected. Like, oh wow,
Yo, he's on there. That's
yeah,
crazy.
he
it's
really
dope.
is this and that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting. So, yeah, man.
So yeah, man, appreciate you for coming through, man.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Thanks for having
Of course.
me.
Yeah, for
Thanks for
real.
being here,
As
man.
always.
And
As
don't
always.
hesitate to come back, man.
We'll have all the links underneath so they can see everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, there it is, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Bye.
That concludes this week's episode. Tune in next week and check us out at thebarbergame.com.